We have all heard that a butterfly has a life cycle. Starts from an egg, becomes a caterpillar and eats out all the vegetation. Later, goes into a deep sleep. A deep sleep of incubation, after which it arises as a beautiful butterfly. Haven't we? Another example of nature being really marvelous is the story of a river. Starts from the mighty mountains, crushes, smashes, falls down and reaches some spot where it has no energy left. But then nature gives it a second lease of life. Guess what? It merges it with another river in its path, just to make sure it reaches its purpose of reaching the estuary to meet the sea. Now, coming to human beings. Ever since we have defied gravity, we defy almost everything in our life. Starting from the instructions or guidance given by our parents to any life's lessons that we learn. I'm about to tell you the story of my greatest critique. His name is Kuttu. And his story begins, for today, when he reaches his grandparents' house, running around with a lot of areca, it's a nut, and announces his arrival once he enters his house. He says, "I'm here, I got all the areca," and he just runs to an old wooden rickety cupboard. Opens it up, and he's like, something is wrong today. Goes back. I think his surprise visit to his grandfather has costed him something he did not expect. Again after dinner, he runs to the wooden closet, opens it up, and still finds nothing. Dejected, he goes to sleep. Next day morning, when he is waking up, he sees he's not in his bed. His grandfather is carrying him to some place which seems to be far away from their house. After some time, in his sleepy eyes, he just sees in front of him is absolute greenery. His grandfather places him on his shoulder and says, "Son, what you see in front of you, all the greenery is ours." Well, Kuttu was not interested in the greenery. He was still very unhappy that he didn't get his 5-star in his little closet. His grandfather just smiled. He knew Kuttu is not learning anything right now. The 6-year-old Kuttu takes a giant leap. 20 years later, it is 2008. Well dressed, having a laptop bag, in his office, doing what every Bangalorean does, almost every Bangalorean does, coding. A software engineer. And what is he up to? He just receives a call, and the call gives him a lightning strike. The call says, "Your father is no more." And he knew where he has to rush to. He runs back, catches the first flight, goes back to Bangalore, to his ancestral home, where his dad was taking care of the ancestral property. While he was in tears, he could hear everybody say, "This man really lived his life. He did what he liked all the way till his last breath. He was 100% farmer and he lived by this virtue almost till he died." I heard this because Kuttu was around. Kuttu was absolutely in tears and he had no words on that day. After that, what happened is that he started involving himself a little bit in this ancestral home. But just to make sure, he helps the people who are managing the show to do something better in that place. Just because his father is now lying in the coffin, in the fields, near the house, and he wanted this place to be neat and clean. A year passed, and a fantastic idea came to him. He said, we should stop cultivating rice. It is putting a deep hole in our pocket while we're not earning anything. Now this was absolutely unacceptable idea in the family, because growing rice is what a farmer does, and he does it for generations after generations after generations. Kuttu opened his laptop and showed them all the logistics of how growing rice is making them poorer. A year follows, and they stop cultivating rice. They're a bit richer now. Of course, the maths had worked. Kuttu was in all smiles. And one fine day, while walking around this property, he just comes across this small place from where he remembers he has gone to the top of that mountain sometime. He goes up just to find that this was the very spot where his grandfather had shown him a beautiful, lush green environment in front of him. And at that time, it was all fields. And now, it was all brown patches. He felt bad suddenly. Just looking at profits, he had made sure that something which was the pride of the family was no longer in existence. He felt the need to fight all the logistical issues and make it green again. For the next 6 years, he was just planning. His endeavors were not as fruitful because he was thinking small. And life got him another chance. It brought him to a scenario where a lot of widowed ladies started asking him, is there something we could do to make sure we spend our time a bit more productively? Kuttu was already stuck with one lightning of the brown patch in his native, and now somebody else asking again for help. He casually said, yes, let me try. Again, in this trials, he spent the next 2-3 years. And in the year 2016, he came up with an idea that could change a lot of lives. What did he do? He made the widow farmers. That's exactly the thing that he was thinking of. But then, all these widows were in the urban areas of Bangalore, and his farms were in Bangalore. How could he connect these two dots? The idea was to make women farmers do farming in their own houses and make them earn money. The patches in Bangalore are not filled, but the dream of making more farmers is being fulfilled. So, what just happened over here? He realized that long ago a hope was created by his grandfather. The hope ignited a vision. Later, a genuine concern ignited an idea. And when he started working towards his endeavor, again, the idea ignited back the hope. And he thought it is now time to become an entrepreneur and make sure this idea reaches to the masses. The idea is to grow plants without using soil and ensure that these ladies have a monthly income so that they can spend their life with a little bit more honor that they are earning their own life. In 2016, a new company was formed by Kuttu. It is called Vayu Krishi. And it's into the business of growing plants without using soil, in air, using 80% less water. They are at the moment growing their own mushrooms in a little farm a few meters away from IMD. And what is happening over there is magical. They're just providing these crops to their neighbors and making them happy. My dear friends, my name is Krishnakant. I'm the founder of Vayu Krishi, and Kuttu is my nickname. Thank you.